Welcome to Hazardous Endeavors.
Yes, indeed.
It is what we are doing.
Yep. Yes, indeed. The Digital and Dice D&D 5th Edition Actual Play Podcast. I am your GM, your host, Mark, and joining me today is Soft Bear.
Hey, Soft Bear.
The best.
As a sit-in here. Of course, also the Lady Crass.
Hello.
Voiceover guy Brian.
Hello.
And Sound guy Steven.
Greetings, all.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back, and where we last left our Intrepid Adventurers.
Terrible places.
I believe there was blackness and water.
You had made your way out of Anrelathan on board the Merrill Breeze, a ship that was going to be bringing a small group of arcane researchers out to the island of Ulgul, I believe. I'm a DM. Ulgun. Thank you. That one. I have notes.
You're welcome.
Theoretically.
Ulgun.
Ulgun. And as you guys had made your way out and a couple days into your travel, as you were making your way towards this island, the storm came in, seas got rough, and out of a massive water portal emerged a ship that Wilf has seen before. This would be the ship of Etteron Blackspine, the Necrophidian. And
Dun, dun, dun.
one of the most notorious pirates to ever sail the seas. Although him being down here is a little odd, although Wilf's suddenly growing black spot might have had something to do with it.
I
washed
blame,
it off.
I obviously blame Lindo. Lindo, you obviously did something.
I obviously probably did not do something. Thank you very much.
And as the Necrophidian was bearing down on your ship, as things were looking from bad to worse, as a whirlpool opened in front of you, your ship toppled into it, everything was crushing around you, the sea flooded in, and as Lindo had been forethoughful enough to tie a barrel amongst the three of you, as everything comes crashing down, you're lost amongst the darkness and the waves, and everything goes black, everything is cold, dark, and you get this feeling, this shadow approaching over you in the darkness. You can just barely make out something massive coming down towards you out of the open ocean, and you're starting to see these tips of bone coming in as if to grab you from the front of the ship. And just as they're about to get to you, there is this little spark of light that flashes in front of you, and this feeling of being pulled through the water. And it's terribly uncomfortable. Your breath is knocked from your body as something blasts you out of the way, and echoing through the water, just on the edge of hearing, you hear and everything goes dark as night, and the three of you slowly come to consciousness. You hear the sound of surf. You open your eyes, and sunlight is beaming down on you. It seems that the sun is just coming up, which means you've easily lost almost a day of time.
Big Baylor.
I'm not dead and on it in eternal service aboard a ship.
No, you're not.
It looks like we are on the beach.
Oh, I like the land. The land is lovely.
It's kind of the land, mostly in the water. I am soggy.
So, as you guys kind of start looking around, you note that you're still tied to this barrel. You have Lindo's rope to thank you for keeping you all together.
You are welcome.
And around you on the beach, you're seeing bits of the ship and a couple pieces of broken cargo washing up around you. You don't see any other bodies, but for certain the ship was, and the pieces you're seeing have floated quite a ways to get here.
What kind of land are we looking at here?
As you start looking inland, you're looking at a forest. Interestingly enough, an evergreen forest going off into the distance, and just above it, as you're looking further inland, you see a tall mountain, or at least a tall rocky outcropping that is looking over the surrounding area.
Hey,
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure that is the thing that we were not supposed to go too close to, yes?
Oh, do you think that might be the mountain citadel of Urulgun?
Yes. I have assumptions.
You know,
You want to go look at it?
honestly, it'd give us a better look about the coastline. Jackson!
Higher ground is usually best.
All right. So you get up and you cut yourself free of the barrel and kind of wring out some of your clothing as you start making your way inland.
Magically dry.
Ah, yes, prestidigitation being a wonderful spell.
Can I have one of those?
What?
I am soggy.
Yeah?
Do you think you can magic at me?
I mean, so there are conditions. I can't draw all of you because then I would be magicking your underpants, and that's just weird.
Well, I mean, like, Elliot used to do it for me.
Well, I mean,
Do you think a consuming flame would
Well,
dry us
it would
off
certainly
quickly
dry
enough?
you off. For them, it would be more scorched.
Okay,
but
Well, it specifically says enemies.
If we walk
okay.
down this path,
sure.
I
If
just
that's the
want
route
you to
you wanna
know that these leather bands will get very tight, and they will start to chafe, and you will hear me complain, literally
okay,
for the entire...
right. Here you are, magic draw.
All right. So now that you're a little bit more comfortable,
Thank
you start making your way inland.
Summon talcum powder. There you go.
Don't use that stuff, it's terrible for you.
The coastline itself is fairly rocky, not so much a sandy beach as small pebbles. And as you make your way off, you're now in a fairly old-growth forest. There are no paths that you're seeing here, although the way is fairly easy, if only because the ground around doesn't have a whole lot of undergrowth.
You know, I think this day has really started off on a rocky start.
I would like to roll survival to find a path.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Do a good job.
We are most definitely going the right direction.
Lindo is 100% certain.
It was
So
a 3. And I believe that we need to go this way through the forest.
You know
Most
what?
definitely.
Lindo has actually helped us successfully track down carts and ogres. Honestly, I don't think I've got any reason to doubt him.
Very well. So, Lindo, you start leading them towards what you think is, the tall, mountainous outcropping.
I'm very unsure, but I'm not going to let them see my face.
That's fair. You start
Yeah, definitely this way.
You travel through, you going into some valleys, up over some rises, and eventually, as you're making your way through a particularly dense area, you break out, and you are now standing in an open field, grass growing up to about mid-thigh,
I brought
at least
you-
on you.
To an opening.
An open field.
Look around.
You look around. The place you were headed is off to your right. You were kind of headed perpendicular to it, but the area around you has some noticeable oddities to it. First off, the clearing has no sign that there were any sort of trees or anything like that growing here. It's just mostly bare except for the tall grass.
Like soft bear.
Oh yeah, very much like soft bear.
Lindo,
But
why is this hill no closer?
It is a shortcut.
one of the
Because
other
you want to
things-
go to the flatlands before you get to the tall ones.
One of the other things you notice that periodically through this it seems like a random smattering, you see these stones that are standing there, and at first they just look, anywhere between 4 to 7 feet tall, and they are all just standing stones. So you start kind of looking at them as you get closer, making your way towards the middle of the field. And as you get closer, you note that several of them have a look to them like they might have been carved at one point, just open to the elements for so long that any features they might have had have been worn away. The overall look to it is that these were possibly some sort of like a statue of a humanoid, or the rock itself was carved into it.
Do you think we'll ever be important enough for people to make statues of us?
Already I am. I'm assuming.
Oh.
And I mean, there might be some sort of, weird subculture thing for you.
I poke one.
You poke one and it seems pretty solid. Although when you do so, you scrape off a little bit of what almost looks like rust or scaling on it, and underneath you can see old pitted iron. And as you do so,
Ew.
Wilf, as you're standing there, you note that you feel this humming coming from your side.
Oh?
You look down and your sword seems to be humming slightly.
I draw it.
You draw the sword and it gleams in the light. And as it does so, the humming picks up intensity.
What's wrong with that?
And about 40 feet ahead of you, one of the rocks that is there, almost hidden a little bit, overgrown with some vines, starts to tremble slightly. Little cracks appear in the outside with this glow suffusing the inside, very similar to your sword.
Ooh.
And somewhat suddenly,
I don't
the
trust
rock
that.
bursts out, and this flash of light, large shockwave pushing the grass down,
No.
causing you to take a half step back as it does so. And standing there is, well, perhaps I should let them describe themselves as we say goodbye to Soft Bear,
Goodbye, Soft Bear.
and instead say hello
love you,
to
Soft Bear.
one of our new players.
Goodbye forever, Soft Bear.
Soft Bear.
And
Egads, a new human.
You did your job.
yes, indeed.
So
Welcome,
far.
welcome, Zan, to Hazardous Endeavors.
Hello. Oh, it's
Yes,
a Zan.
indeed.
Yeah!
Sitting in for Wizard James as he is off with his schedule, we are including Zan as part of our group, and welcome to the party.
Thank you.
Dun dun dun.
So, as this shockwave hits, standing in this nimbus of light is
A 7-foot tall, warforged, in tones of alabaster and gold. Obviously to do with something with Palor, as there is a large symbol of Palor on their chest that seems to be glowing a bright, bright blue. Almost blindingly so.
It's so shiny.
Oh, hey,
as it kind of seems to, the nimbus starts to die down. You note that in the center of the sunburst on the chest, the glowing seems to be coming from there, and it pulses a few times, almost like a heartbeat, as an iris closes, and it starts to settle down. Its feet touch the ground again, and it starts to look around.
Should we poke it?
No.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, It talks.
So do you.
yeah. Hello there.
Hello.
You appear to
Hello.
have just popped out of a rock.
What? No.
Yes. No.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This isn't. Where? What has happened?
Well, you found yourself, I think, no, we're not certain, but pretty sure we're on the dreaded island of Ulgoon.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You seem
Where
to be-
is the army?
I got this. Okay, so we got on the boat and then we crashed because there was a pirate, right? And then we walked into the woods and then there was a big field and there's a bunch of rocks. And I am assuming if you were a rock, so the rocks are also
No.
used.
No.
Yes?
There was an army.
Oh, you say...
You look around the field and around you, you see these standing stones that have the hint of familiarity to them.
This is Ulgoon.
Well, I mean,
But where is the army?
well, there was supposed to be a flock of grad students here to you know,
Where is...
analyze the ruins. But they sort of got sunk. Yeah.
So you definitely notice that you're looking around, you get brief flashes, you get these looking like you're starting, like your vision kind of flips for a moment, and ahead of you, you see this massive citadel reaching up out of the stone. You see darkness pervading the area. You hear the sounds of your compatriots rushing forward.
No.
And then it blinks and it's gone, and you're back in the field. You're standing amidst these three, which, as you look at them a little bit more, you note that some of the regalia seems familiar. You've seen that before.
Are you the last of the army?
We are the standing dawn guard.
Yeah, we are, well, I mean, the current Dawn Guard.
You are the dawn guard.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we got the cape.
The dawn guard?
That is correct. Well, no,
Well,
not all the dawn guard. We have one
It has been a while
at a wizard place.
A while.
since the Dawn Guard has been active.
A while. How
Yes.
long is a while?
I don't know. You look like what? No older than 10. Don't worry about it.
About 1,000 years.
No.
Unfortunately, yes.
You keep saying that. I'm not quite sure you know what it means.
That is upsetting.
I'm very sorry to hear that. You seem to be, well, certainly sort of Dawn Guard affiliated. You've got sort of the bling matching.
Yes. I am Victus.
You are Victus.
I am Victus.
Hello, Victus.
Greetings, Victus.
And you are?
Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn. The whole thing. You have to say the whole thing.
Wilf Tradewind, and our big friend here is Jackson.
Jackson Shaw.
When you look at Jackson, you note extremely familiar armor. The stuff that he's wearing, at least part of it, is very reminiscent of the armor that you saw almost immediately upon your creation. Some of your first memories are opening your eyes to seeing a brilliant silver gauntlet retracting from your glowing heart, and a massive figure, tall, flowing black hair, chiseled features, as they smile down upon you and welcome you to life, as Kellendar Brightblade strode off to the next in the line. But you see this half-orc is wearing some of that armor.
It 1,000 years after the war ended, you are all that is left of the Dawn Guard.
Oh, what if we said the war restarted?
Well, I mean, it hasn't totally restarted. See, some muckers are trying to get together the Hand of Bane's gear, so we're trying to get together Kellendar Brightblade's gear, and so right now we're sort of in this pre-Second
Crazy random
War of
happenstance.
Ascension.
Just a small, I hesitate to say arms race, more armor race.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were trying to help some people, and we found a bit of, the gloves and such. And now we're trying to
Those are not
save the
gloves.
world from devastation.
Where is Kellendar?
Ooh. So,
Definitely dead.
well, I wouldn't say dead.
Okay.
No.
Sort of, well, him and the Hand of Bane got
poke
their
it.
whole
Poke.
thing happening, and they may have sundered
Poke
each
it again.
other.
Poke. I think I fixed it.
No.
No.
Oh, well. So it's all right because theoretically, if Kellendar was in fact,
If Kellendar has fallen, then there is no hope.
but that's the thing.
Bane is also dead.
He broke the Hand of Bane. He broke it.
The Hand of Bane has fallen.
Well, shattered is a great way of saying it. And sort of the same with Kellendar.
But the war has begun again.
Well,
For fun.
It's on its way to.
like I said, some mucky mucks are trying to put it together.
How large are the forces of
Yes. Oh.
Big,
It's pretty big, yeah.
Pretty big.
It's pretty big.
And you are the Dawn Guard.
All 4 of us. Though it looks like there are 3, there's actually 4, and he just left back at the wizard place.
He's stuck with the wizards trying to do something.
4 of you.
At least 4.
Well, yes. I mean, we've got help. We've got some friends.
Some wizards.
Some wizards. We've got Bale. Bale's a good guy.
We're working on gaining more allies.
Those people at the gate with all the undead people. Right?
Yes.
Them too.
While they are speaking, I begin to look around, wondering what may have become of my compatriots.
You make your way over to one of the other statues, and as you actually scrape off some of the grime that has grown on them, you're noticing just this patina of rust, and as you do so, you actually scrape off enough that you recognize the rank insignia and identifier of one of your friends, as apparently their heart must have gone out when the blackness came. You get this brief flash again of looking over to this particular individual, another Warforged, hulking in size, as he's rushing forward, massive shield over one arm, sword built into the right hand, as he's charging forth, yelling, and you look over towards the castle as a black bolt of lightning strikes down at the front of the keep, and these massive black wings open up. An armored form steps out of the darkness, and as they put their hand out, this wave of black energy just blasts down over the field, and you blink again as that passes, and you're now looking at where he stood, just stopped.
So, I mean...
Are you okay? Look at it, just stop moving. Maybe it's broken. Hello?
Hello.
Victus? Hello,
Oh,
Victus.
hello!
Hello,
Hello.
I am Victus.
Yes. I am Lindo.
You-
Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
Lindo.
Yes.
Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
Correct.
I mean,
Wilf,
I know you don't...
Tradewind.
That is correct.
Jackson Shaw.
Yes.
Another compatriot who is left behind at the wizard place.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Elliot. That's Elliot.
Elliot Frostmoon.
Elliot Frostmoon. Elliot
Ooh.
Frostmoon.
Yes, correct. Elliot Frostmoon. He's not here and is at the wizard place.
You'll know him because he's blue.
There was a battle here.
From everything we heard, the battle got so big it moved the island. We're no longer right on the coast. From what I heard, we're a couple days sailing, which is bad because
We don't have a boat and we were landed here.
we don't have a boat, and there may be the most despicable pirate to have ever lived haunting the shores.
Do not worry. We have a barrel and some rope.
You need to leave.
Well, yes, we need to get to Artemisia so that we can try to get to the next piece of...
We have to save the world.
Are there any remnants within the fortress?
You know,
We've not been into the fortress yet.
the wizards have been a little afraid to open the fortress. We sort of were thinking that it'd be the best place to see how far away anything is.
More magic.
Yeah, well, I mean, magic happens.
Always so much magic. When do I get magic? I have tried really hard. I stare into the distance like Elliot does when he gets really moody.
No.
I put my hand out and I'm like, ha-ha!
No. See, what you have to do is
Okay.
you just have to be
Ha-ha!
so charming that reality itself bends to your very will.
Okay, we all know that I am so charming that everything bends to my will, but unfortunately not reality.
I walk up to
Ha-ha!
Victus, put my hand upon his shoulder. You seem to have been brought to us, or we to you,
I was here
by Palor for a reason.
by Palor.
Yes.
Yes. For Palor.
Yeah, you seem to have reacted to my maybe alien sword.
If you take a look, because he's still holding out this sword, and although it seems much smaller, you have seen a very similar sword to this during the war, there were a couple encounters you had been in where they had actually, the forces of the Dawn Guard had actually summoned down angels from the court of Palor, and as they were flying above and fighting some of the more airborne units of the Son of Bane, you would see those swords being held aloft, gleaming with the light of Palor himself, although this gnome seems to have a miniature version.
Lindo's eyes are very watery right now, and he reaches up and he holds Victus's hand. I once had a friend who killed for Santu.
You did.
I did.
Were they part of the army?
Sure. In his heart.
I am sorry.
Me too. I understand your loss.
So, you after you take a brief stock of those directly around you, all of them seem to be in the same state. Something about yours was resonating for a moment. Right before this happened, it's almost like you heard a call in a familiar voice, and felt like a hand upon your shoulder that seemed calming and familiar, and then you woke up. So, definitely seems like that's a legit statement. Yeah.
If you are the Dawn Guard, then I must be here to help you.
Oh, I guess. Thank you, Victus. Many hands lightens the work.
Do you require my assistance?
Oh, yeah.
Your
I need a
help
boat and
would be greatly appreciated.
some more rope and and some food and that's it.
Lindo.
Yeah.
You actually might know more about this fort than, well, I guess anyone else in existence?
We were not able to breach its walls. We were making a strike when
Poke it.
Wait. It's all right. Come back to us, Victus. How would you like to crack into the sucker now?
Yes. I would like to finish what was started.
Well, I mean, this is pretty relevant to our interests. Let's go raid this wizard's tower.
Oh. Are we going to loot the dungeon?
Well, remember, it goes up, so it's supposed to be called a wizard's tower. But yes, we are.
It is a fortress.
It is apparently a fortress. Is there a dungeon in that fortress?
There may be a dungeon in the fortress on the lower levels. We were not able to breach its walls.
Well, they said that already. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, how about you lead the way?
Yes.
We will follow you.
I would like to see what has come of everything since I have been gone.
All right.
A little bit of a change in landscape, but okay.
Out of curiosity, for flavor aspect, when you're moving, are you walking or are you kind of just floating slightly over the ground?
Just like running thaumaturgy all the time. It's like constant, like, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so moving just kind of like
Like the
feet-
little things that clean the ice rinks.
Zamboni.
Like a Zamboni.
Like a little bit like a Roomba, just like bumping into things, like moving around them.
I mean, like a tall, spikier Roomba, maybe?
Hell yeah, clean my floor.
Battle Roomba?
Battle Roomba.
So,
Like when you tape a knife to a Roomba.
so as you start making your way in the correct direction, up towards the fortress,
It's almost like we head towards the only landmark visible.
so
I don't know how we got lost before.
it doesn't take you a whole lot of time to get up there. You have to make your way
found
through.
Victus.
The terrain seems like it has changed quite a bit from when you last saw it. There was a pretty straight path to get up there the last time, but now the road itself has been broken. Large chunks of the earth have been rent up, and as you see, the forest that has grown here just towers overhead. But you weave your way through the landscape and finally find yourself at the base of this fortress. around the entrance itself, you see the walls of rock going up pretty sheer on either side, and ahead a single stone worked wall across the between the two cliff walls, and a gate set in the middle.
I'm going to draw my swords because this seems like a bad place.
The gate is off its hinges, blasted inwards. You see what's left of massive rusted iron doors have been crumpled in, as if hit from outside by something extremely strong.
Well,
Can we get a general perception for anything creepy hanging around?
Sure.
yeah.
Go ahead. You start searching around. So I would actually say in investigation.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that better. 19.
Okay.
11.
A whole 8.
All right.
5. An entire 8?
Okay.
I'm feeling
to a
like
quarter of an
robo PTSD right now. A little distracted.
All right. So yeah, you're looking around, still just kind of trying to take it all in. So the details are being lost on you right now. Jackson, you're looking for danger. You're listening for anything that might be out of the ordinary. Lindo, you're seeing a lot of the plants that have grown over and the ivy that has grown up the walls, hanging down from all of the stonework.
That is definitely old.
And
Yep.
Wilf, as you start making your way in, you find yourself in a courtyard.
Ooh, a weed.
The open courtyard stretches back about 100 feet or so to the inner parts of the keep, which are built into the stone wall itself. A natural valley that has just had the buildings added onto the inside of it. And as you're looking around, you see you're about to step on something, and you stop and you look, and inscribed into the ground, you see an old magic circle. And as you take a closer look, it seems this, at one point, might have been used as a summoning circle, a summoning trap.
As long as it doesn't spell out, I prepared exploding rune today.
It does not.
Ooh, remember when I drew one of these in the ground?
Oh, yeah. No.
Could I roll knowledge arcana on that?
You can indeed.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw that down as well. Oh,
16.
16?
9.
Okay. Wilf, you're like, I don't quite recognize this, but Victus, you take a look, and it definitely looks like this would be something that would have triggered at one point. If someone made their way in, this would have activated and summoned something from the bestiary of the summoner. But it looks like this has long since been activated and dead. So whatever magic was being held in it is long gone.
You needn't fear this circle. It is no longer active.
Oh, good. Dance
right.
circle.
And as you start making your way around, you'll see near a lot of the different buildings that are surrounding this courtyard, very similar inscriptions. That whereas they activated and they burned themselves into the surrounding rock when they did, and then have just expelled whatever magic they had.
Oh yeah, what? Didn't the student say that this was one of the Hand of Bane's main summoner lieutenants?
Did they?
Yeah, I think they
about
did. We should actually be a little worried about any unactivated ones.
Ooh, do your magic thing that detects other magic things.
Oh, well, I mean, I suppose
You're like,
that
bloop,
is
bloop, bloop,
something
bloop,
that
bloop,
Elliot
bloop.
does and not me.
You know, sometimes I miss him.
Oh no, me too.
So you start.
I could have made at least 12 cold jokes since we got back on land.
Oh, with the word ice.
And you're starting to make your way through. Lindo, you're kind of ahead, looking around, seeing what there is. Go ahead and make me a perception check, please.
La 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 la. Perception 16 plus 7.
Okay, so you make your way over to one of the areas towards the center of the big open spot, and you step forward and you hear this kind of clanking noise, just barely audible. And as you move your foot and kind of scuff away some of the dirt, it seems that there is a metal grate over, kind of over something here in the middle.
That sounds like metal not great.
I would like to investigate this metal grate.
Okay, so Lindo, you start brushing away, and sure enough, there's a metal grating covering something. You can't see where it is.
I'm going to peek inside of the grate.
Okay.
Hello?
So, you guys are kind of spread out a little bit, looking to see what there is. Kind of, Victus, you're investigating one of the summoning sigils on one of the walls that's old and burned, trying to maybe see if you could figure out what it was that it might have brought out.
Poke a stick down there.
Jackson, you find an old skull just lying in the corner. It looks like it's old and degraded, but has just been out of the weather for the most part. You're just kind of kicking it with your foot, maybe some sort of lizard man or something like that. About the time that Lindo kind of lifts up this grate and starts to push it aside a little bit. It's decently large, I mean, about 10 feet, across. But you kind of lift it up and push it to the side.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
And as you
Nothing.
you look down in there, and it only recesses maybe about a foot. And you as you're getting a closer look, suddenly there's this little pinprick of light that starts to inscribe and move in just kind of this pattern.
Guys.
And suddenly there's this 10-foot sigil glowing in the middle. And the grating is blasted upwards, spinning in the air, landing about 10 feet away from Wilf, digging itself into the ground.
Hey!
As
I found one!
Taylor's
Oh, look,
name.
I found one!
this black cloud erupts out of the sigil, starts to spin and move in the air.
You're welcome.
And as it
No.
expands out, you start seeing tendrils of smoke starting to whip out. As they coalesce, you're starting to see dark, kind of greenish scales along several heads that start opening, roaring, as
It's not
a
the friend of yours, is it,
five-headed
Victus?
hydra summoned into existence roars out of all of its heads, starts looking around.
That is
And-
not a friend.
And that, dear Digidicers, is where we will leave you for this episode. So, I would like to say again thank you to Zan for joining us. She will be here the next, arc of the story as we move forward. So, welcome Victus to Hazardous Endeavors.
Gooble gobble, gooble gobble.
And thank you all
We
out
accept
there.
her. One of us.
Thank you all out there for listening. Thank you for being here for the stream if you are here. And until next time.
Game on, Internets!